Yeah.
All right, here we go. The T-bone.
And chick brew.
Let's God bless. All these years, just get it right one time.
What do you want from me?
40 years they've been trying. You couldn't fire somebody if they were horrible, doing a terrible job for the veterans. And now you can say, you're fired.
Okay. No one listens to radio.
And now for a quick disclaimer. The T-Bone
And chick brew.
show is brought to you by nobody. We have no sponsors.
The show is still rated G.
For glorious. And we're back. I don't know. Do you have a better cold open line than that?
No, I love it.
It gets right to the point.
We're back. Like that zit you thought was gone. I mean, it's the same thing every day. I love it.
I'm picking up your sarcasm.
I love it. No, I love it. Fine.
I think I want to expand the program a little bit, and I know you don't read my Facebook, so I'm going to tell you what I put out to the universe.
Okay.
We both have a wide assortment of very unique friends, and I am willing to give any of them a 5-minute guest rant.
Oh, I saw this.
Yeah. So anybody who's got an idea about something that they want to get off their chest, keep it clean. Don't worry if you don't keep it clean, I'll censor the heck out of you. Keep it as clean as you can, and I'll take care of the rest. But basically, we're going to. Oh wait, yeah. Hold on. Jim Holder's unsolicited advice about every podcast ever. Tell people in advance what you're going to be talking about. What we're going to be talking about is a new special guest rant section. We're going to be talking about food. We're going to be dreaming about food. We're going to be definitely talking about your test and how that went. I'm very, very interested. And, of course, we'll always be talking about headlines and birthday burns. One of the headlines we will not be talking about, how the Duchess of Cambridge or whatever make-believe title the tampon lady is. We won't be talking about her commenting on the loud and offensive and unignorable gas passing of our president. Yes, the president of the United States just blows.
We've had what? We've had one president throw up at dinner. We've had another president pass gas. I feel like that's like the epitome of America. We'll show up, we'll eat, we'll puke, we'll fart. We'll tell you your unsolicited advice, and then we will exit stage left.
Remember the old days when we went and visited statesmen from other country and got pitch chased with them?
No, that was the original Bush that just threw up at dinner.
Yeah, that was bad sushi.
Well, allegedly. Or was it good sake? We don't know. Okay, we don't know.
I think he was a teetotaler. I don't believe the senior Bush was a drinker.
Allegedly.
And we know the junior Bush, well, I mean, he was until he wasn't.
He liked cocaine.
Okay, I don't know if he did or not, but if
allegedly,
you know, he would just go with the Bill Clinton defense.
Right.
I did not inhale.
So Jenna Bush went to UT, and she used to always be at a lot of parties that I was at when I was in college.
So they're twin daughters of the first family.
Yeah.
But only one of them went to the college you're associated with.
I'm not associated with that college. I couldn't get in there. I partied around there. It was in Austin.
I'm associated with the University of Florida at Gainesville because I love Coconuts Comedy Club and I love that area. I'm associated with it. I didn't go there. I'm not a Gators fan.
I don't.
Well, I don't even know. U of T, what is their team? It's
the Longhorns. Yeah, University of Texas, Austin. Longhorn. Yeah.
That's like hang loose for dummies, right?
Sports ball, and I don't want to participate in this conversation. I am confused.
So the Jim Holder unsolicited advice is always the thing we've got to remember. Tell everybody what you're expecting. And we started to talk about whether there's something new I wanted to do. And what I want to do new is I want to give you, the listener, an opportunity to get something off your chest. We'll give you 5 minutes. All you got to do is come correct. You know, don't half-step. Ain't no half-stepping. You come correct. If you got a rant, you want to get it off your chest, write it down, work it out. Conservation of words. Have a point to be made. Write it down. When you got it where you think it needs to be, we're going to arrange a phone call. You're going to PM me. We're going to set it up. I'm going to record it. If it's good, I'm going to let you know. If it's not good, I'm going to give you some points, some tips. some ideas for improvement. And if you want to do another take, we do another take until we get it right. I think, especially knowing who I have as friends and having a good idea of who you have as friends, I believe that could be a lot of fun. Do you disagree?
No, I'm just thinking of some people, and then I think, are they as lazy as me, or are they better than me?
Well,
I'm hoping that they're better than me.
You are the epitome of your generation when it comes to laziness.
100%. 100%. If it's not going to put money in my pocket, I'm probably not going to do it.
And another thing we'll be talking about in this episode, and insert hardcore sport music here. The injury report.
I don't know what that means.
It means somebody's got a broken ankle, and I want to know how that happened.
And you know what? The best part is it was not spousal abuse, because I am so far away. So I'd like to thank that person.
Not only do you have a lock-solid alibi right now,
100%.
I tell you, TK's alibi service is always available for you. I designed this business model years ago. I will give an alibi to anyone, and it will be a lock-solid alibi. I'm telling you, I know the ins and the outs of the criminal justice system. The alibi I give you for the right price would free you to do whatever it is you want to do. So TK's alibi service, always available to you should you find yourself possibly being considered as a spousal abuse kind of person.
Well, I don't think that that's one that we should pitch, but maybe that could be a new segment. Your weekly alibi.
The alibis I have are complex. They require a lot of moving.
There's a lot of moving parts.
A lot of objective quality evidence. There's, first things first. Your cell phone comes to me. Yes, that's how so many people are getting caught these days. No one will ever know I was here. Yeah, they have tried.
Everyone knows that you were there.
All the way down, 2 or 3 inches. From space, they are able to bring a signal to your phone to give you the vastness of the internet. No matter what toilet you're sitting on, the government knows exactly where you are. So,
how did you know I was on my toilet? No, I was kidding. I'm not. I'm in my living room. See, there's the living room.
It's a New York apartment. There's a high probability your toilet's in your living room.
No, there's a door. It's a very narrow door, but a back door.
A door or a curtain shed or shade?
It's a whole door.
You know what I'm talking about. New York apartments are traditionally insanely small, especially in the city.
Nothing to see here. Literally, just close the curtain and no one will know that you're naked.
They're gonna know.
They're not gonna know.
They're gonna know.
They're not gonna know. How will they know?
They're gonna know.
I'm so glad you know the meme with me.
I don't know the meme. I know that's used. There's like 5 background sounds that are used for every video on Instagram.
Every reel.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm sorry, reel as the kids call them. Hey, our numbers are looking good. I know you don't follow the numbers thing, but I can tell you there's more people listening than you think are listening. So be sure to say hello to your family and friends, because
my mom said that last week was really good.
Well, bless her heart.
I wouldn't know what we sounded like if it weren't for my mother. I love her. She's just the greatest.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I think last week is when I took all my love back from your family.
But you should give it back, because they're the only people that like us.
Yeah, well, now it's back. She gets it back. We're so good. Somebody has figured out a way, before I even put it out there that the latest episode has been uploaded, somebody has found out a way to download and start listening to it before I've even let the world know it exists.
Oh, someone is on it.
I was impressed. I want to always give a shout out or a little cross promotion to our friend Darrell McLean and the Darrell McLean Show podcast. He's got a different take on things. He's got a different perspective. And if you got a few minutes, give the old man a listen. He plays our commercial at the beginning of every one of his episodes. So if you're
good for him.
Yeah, if you're a Darrell McLean listener and you're just tuning in to T-Bone and Chick Boo for the first time, hey, thanks for listening. We like having you here too. Don't expect much, and you'll get exactly what you were expecting.
We strive for mediocrity. Or I do, at least. 100% solid good.
I almost want to do an unpopular opinion of the day on a particular subject, but I don't believe my opinion is unpopular. Pennsylvania, do something. What is wrong? I go to the adult arcade yesterday, and in the 20-mile trip there were 6 giant deer carcasses off on the side of the road. In the return trip on the same 20-mile stretch of highway, there were 5 in the southbound lane. Roughly every mile or within every 5 miles, there's a dead deer on the side of the road. And I'm not talking little deer. I'm talking big, big deer. Strangely enough, they're all females. I mean,
that's because they've already killed and eaten the men. I mean, everything is fine.
women are good drivers, female deer are bad walkers. No, I mentioned that to the manager, producer. I always forget.
You have a producer, I have a manager. We all know that I need management in my life.
I mentioned it to the producer, and she had asked me, I guess she had asked me if there were any males. And I said, no, they were all does. And the response she gave me, inappropriate for this air, hilarious response, but it involved getting away from the copulating male.
Knowing your producer, I can imagine, and that sounds about right. I would literally rather die.
They would rather throw themselves in traffic than to be mounted by a big, beautiful buck. I know, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's the answer to the question.
So we got all these dead deer, and I'm telling you, this isn't a major interstate here. It's a major thoroughfare. You don't hit a 200, 300-pound object at highway speed and have a good outcome. I don't care what you're driving. If you're driving a little car, obviously a lot more damage. You're driving a big vehicle, that's still going to do damage. There was one, I've got to check the news. It may have been, I don't know what it was. On my way home today.
The Loch Ness Monster.
On my way home today, just as I'm getting ready to get on 81, there is what I now call traditional traditional Pennsylvania markings. There's blood splatter. There's a big blood splatter, kind of a trail leading off. It's what you see when a deer gets hit. There's blood everywhere. But the tire tracks go to the right, and as you view it to the right, there is a cartoon-esque outline. I'm going to stop tomorrow on the highway and take a picture of this. There is a cartoon-esque blood splatter on the sounding wall. It looks like somebody threw a bag of blood at the wall, and it came out in the shape of an animal. My theory is, guy hits the deer at highway speed, veers off to the right, comes to a stop, and the deer flings off of his vehicle, probably a big rig, and hits that wall, and it creates this blood outline like nothing I've ever seen. I've gone on a rant before about, hey, deer fencing, look it up. It's a thing. You put some fence along the side of the road to keep the deer from getting in the roadways. And today I tossed around the idea of maybe a special deer hunting license. You know why? Because deer hunting season has begun, and these yahoos go up into the mountains wearing their orange everywhere they can to shoot a deer. They come home, I didn't even see a deer. Don't leave home. Go out to the nearest intersection. Go out there on exit 70 and find out what's going on.
Well, they have that in Texas. They have the thinning licenses. It's like a thing. I have been hit by a deer. I have been hit by a deer that ran into the passenger side of my Nissan Versa. I was going about 75 miles an hour.
Yes, ma'am. We have both talked about our deer hitting.
I've never been so offended in my life. I mean, they don't know. They don't know. They don't know what the road is. I mean, what is it? Is it like Norway that has the wildlife bridges, the grass bridges, so they don't go towards the road? They are like grass covered overpasses for animals to move freely around.
I am a fan.
To be fair, I don't know where in Pennsylvania the deer are coming or going from. Where is their green? I don't know. They're like, there are 3 trees here. I will move across this concrete jungle to the other 3 trees. What's happening?
There are trees everywhere. This is a tree place. As I'm touting my special license sniper deer idea today to someone in the know, he told me that most deer only live their entire lives with like in a 2 or 3 mile radius.
Right. Yeah, they're not distance hikers, those deer.
I just don't. Okay, so move them. If all of them are within 2 or 3 miles of the Cracker Barrel on exit 69 here, maybe somebody should go to the Cracker Barrel and move those deer a little further away from the highway.
But maybe they really like Cracker Barrel.
Who doesn't
like Cracker Barrel?
Please, in the search for sponsors, let that be the one.
Oh, I'm not even mad about that. I love Cracker Barrel.
We're the president of Cracker Barrel Industries, and we'd love to sponsor your little radio program thing you do there.
Great. I would also like a bidet. Thank you.
We're not going to pay you any money, but you can come in and eat whenever you want.
Can I get a veggie plate? Because I'm here for it.
Cracker Barrel has great food. Big Baby had a wonderful, wonderful bit about the Cracker Barrel. I don't dare repeat it because I'd get canceled because I'm a white person. But I can tell
Look at you staying in your lane like those deer. Right before the truck hits you. Good job, bud.
Back to the animal bridges. I am a huge fan of the TV show Top Gear, and of course they mentioned this. You know, Jeremy Clarkson, in his most witty way, shows a picture of one of these animal bridges in Denmark or somewhere in that area, and he's $15 million. They paid $15 million to install this bridge over this thing, and then he says, and then they installed the cameras. And do you know, in 1 year's time, how many animals crossed this bridge? 0.
Good for them. That's like how many humans in New York City crossed in the crosswalk? 0. It's good for you. You should do this. No, not when the light says go. Only when the lights are green against traffic.
I don't remember not using a crosswalk as a regular thing in New York.
Right, but was it necessarily when you were supposed to walk? Because I feel like now there's just more pedestrians than there are cars. And the cars are super angry about it.
Are we talking use the crosswalk or waiting for some stupid sign on the other side to tell you?
We'll just wait for the cars to stop coming.
No. What if Dustin
if there's enough people, the people win. And maybe that's how the deer feel. If there's enough of us, we will win. But they haven't unionized like pedestrians of New York.
Not figured that out. the Dustin Hoffman, I'm walking here. That's
I use that in a radio spot on AFN. I'm walking here. Those were the days, man.
Yes. We used to get up so early.
I know. Now we stay up so late. I took my shower. So like right before you called, I was like, oh, I got 15 minutes. I'm going to take the shower. Jumped in the shower. And I was like, put my pajamas on. And I almost got in bed because that's the routine, right? Take a shower, put the pajamas on, get in bed. And I was like, no. Go back to the living room. No.
I am not a nighttime shower person unless I've got some funk that needs to get off me. And I mean, that doesn't really happen.
I rode the subway multiple times today.
Yeah, then that's not so much a shower as a decontamination.
So I had a friend visiting. My friend Holly came to visit, and we had the best time. We used to work at MWR together. She's from Alabama, had never been to New York. And, she's like, there's needles. And I was like, yes, they're everywhere. And then, we were like looking on the train tracks, and she's like, look at all these treasures. And I was like, I really just want Holly, who has like the epitome of Alabama accent, to start a YouTube channel and just call it Train Track Treasures with Holly. Because she's like, is that a Maker's Mark bottle? Is that a needle? Is that a rat? It's so good. It's so good. I would watch that because it would just be life. But we did see a lot of interesting things. We saw a man whose foot is likely going to need to be amputated pretty soon here. There was a poop in the subway, and she said, oh God, who would let their dog poop here? And I said, well, it's 60-40. 60 that it's human. And she was like, what? And I was like, she's like, oh shit, that does look like human poo. It has been a wild week.
New York is such a hard city to explain to someone who is completely foreign to the things that happen in New York City. First of all, when you're in a subway tunnel and you see a New York City rat,
it looks like a small dog.
Yeah, you are questioning reality. You're going back to the Princess Bride and the 3 things you need to do to get through the swamp forest. The rodents of unusually large size, right?
They're rather large.
They are.
They're rather large.
I wish, I have kind of fallen in love with nutria. I think those are cute little animals, which are equivalent to New York City rats, except New York City rats are angry and destructive. So they take the peaceful little nutria and they feed them to the alligators and all the alligator farms. Well, what if they just made a switch and put the kind little... No, it wouldn't work. What would happen is you transplant some nutria to New York City. You take the New York City rats, you send them down and feed them to the alligators. It's only going to take about 6 months before the nutria are running around the subway like, hey, I'm walking here.
And there are no more alligators. The alligators are now near extinction.
Yeah.
Because the rats have eaten them.
Together.
They're like, this is so much tastier than a Maker's Mark bottle.
I remember driving into New York, and of course, I had a reason to go to New York, and I was driving a car that may or may not have been mine, legally. So I'm driving. I was young and reckless once. So
that is not what my youth looked like.
As soon as I got into the city, actually into Brooklyn, at the very first traffic light, I come to a stop. The reaction time on a New Yorker's horn, because the light turned green and I put the car in gear and started the accelerator. But before I could do that, the guy behind me was already on the horn. Do you think I'm driving a dragster? Do you realize my reaction? I couldn't believe it. And it was like that at every traffic stop. Everybody's in such a hurry that it only takes you about a month to acclimate to New York City pace.
I love when everyone is at a stand. So last night we were walking and the cops are directing traffic and there's an ambulance. Of course, there's always an ambulance. And they're trying to get the ambulance through the intersection. And people are honking and no one's moving. And I'm like, you can see the lights. Like it's no mystery. We can hear the siren. We can see the lights and people are honking. And there's people standing in the intersection saying, you don't get to go. The ambulance gets to go with lights and flashlights and they're doing the thing. What are you honking for? Sometimes I'm going to bed and I'm like, it's midnight. There's 4 cars on the road. Who are you honking at? Why are you yelling outside my door?
It's just a very aggressive city. It's very aggressive. It's fat. I mean, now a lot of people think New York is a city that never sleeps. That's not true at all. Vegas is closer to a city that never sleeps.
I would love to sleep. I love sleeping in New York City. I would like to stay asleep once I get there.
But for the most part, after about 3 o'clock, the city calms down. And there are a couple of hours there.
I get up at 4. Who messed up?
I just remember, I had a job in the city. So I get into the city really early in the morning, and it was like a ghost town. There's a couple of garbage people working. There's not a lot happening, and that's like for an hour. And then everything is happening all at once, everywhere, like a bad horror movie. Just absolute quiet and people.
It's like the zombies turn the corner.
That's a good way of putting it. Rob Calabro, when he was in New York, I'm pretty sure it was Rob. At the beginning of the pandemic, was out running, and he took some video. Him and Slade Ham, I think, did the best job of documenting the zombie apocalypse. And for those of you who have never heard of Slade, Rob Calabro, nobody knows Rob because he's just a guy with the camera. But Slade, a long-running comic, his camera skills are really, really good. And he had a drone out, and he's like through the streets of Houston, and it's just emptiness. It's Will.
I saw those pictures. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Man, it's just amazing. And to think that when New York was like that, it was just like 4 o'clock in the morning, way before anything about a pandemic came along. But this was in the middle of the day. I couldn't imagine the city being like that.
Yeah.
That's kind of scarier to me than, any other movie involving an apocalypse in New York, where everything's happening. The stillness of it all would be scarier to me than the madness of it all, because I got accustomed to madness.
It's interesting because you don't ever see it that way. And then when you see those like videos, because I know the ones of Houston, I know exactly the ones that you're talking about. And I was like, oh, that's where I used to go visit my grandpa. That's all empty. And the ones in New York, like, who's ever seen New York that empty?
In the middle of the day.
Like literally no one, not even in movies. In movies, they have to edit people out. And we know that they've been edited out because there's always a glitch in the window. Like, it was surreal and it was so weird and unsettling.
And meanwhile, while all the major cities in America were doing that, what were we doing?
We were absolutely not moving for fear of tickets we couldn't afford.
People, and I thought it was fun. I remember Tegan and her sister and her friends in Missouri. They would join us in quarantine conversations, and they're there in the middle of Kansas, or not the middle. They're on the edge of Kansas and Missouri, and these were people going out every day. They were drinking and having a good time, no mask and no nothing, and they were complaining about the quarantine back then. Whereas, meanwhile, every night at 8 o'clock, we're batting pans, to let the healthcare workers know we care. What a dumb idea.
I didn't do that.
Yeah, you didn't?
No, I wasn't popular in our neighborhood.
I lived in the section of Rhoda where sound travels. So you would hear it. I'd go up to the penthouse suite and I'd bang on some drums and yell out and try to be funny. One night I wanted to do it with the bull costume on.
Oh, God.
Go out on the balcony with that giant bull costume on and beat on the drums. All right. That is enough of a warm-up. That was a real good warm-up session.
That was the warm-up.
That was the warm-up. Now that we've lost all the listeners that we did have talking, well, I don't want to hear about New York. Well, you had to hear about it. Sorry. We say this to get to this. Now let's go to the injury report. I want to know what happened.
It was a trip and fall. Standard trip and fall.
Cover. Was it while she was at Trunk or Treat?
No.
That post had a whole bunch of different things in it. And
it was like the weekend.
I broke my ankle.
That's basically how her weekend was. It was super fun, trunk or treat, having a blast. And then
I'm old and brittle.
I told her, like, osteoporosis is on its way. And then I was like, oh, I got to be careful. I already don't have friends. I don't need to be divorced too. Then that's a swing and a miss for me. Yeah, no, it was a really bad trip and fall. And
was it
ironically enough, as much as the dogs are underfoot, not what did it.
Not a high heel, not a dog. Was it at the house or was it out?
It was at the house. We have like a gate that blocks blocks one of the dogs from getting over by where the cars are so that we can, pull the cars in and out of the gate. And you could open it or you can step over it. Those are your options. And choices were made. And there was a spill. I can't say it's right or wrong or whatever. I just feel terrible because, of course, couldn't have waited 2 months, 3 months.
Was alcohol involved?
No.
Are you sure?
Absolutely, because she didn't drink.
What a shame that she doesn't drink, because it only take like a thimble to get her drunk.
It's true, but it's also nice. I always have a designated driver. The only place only place that she drinks is she likes the mojitos at La Azul, and they're good. And it takes one, and then I drive home because I don't drink when we go there. It's a good trade-off. I can drink anywhere I want except for Sea Azul. Then that night I'm designated driver. It's perfect.
We ventured out. I wanted to take the wife out to dinner Friday night. She turned me down. She was kind enough to let me take her out on Saturday. So we went to a little Korean restaurant nearby that I'd been wanting to try. And it was phenomenal. It was phenomenal. But in Pennsylvania, they've got this strange thing where a lot of restaurants do not have a liquor license. But they're cool if you bring the liquor in with you.
BYOBs.
BYOB.
It's like that.
I've never seen this before.
There's a few places like that in Texas. It's awesome. You can buy this. You pay for the setup, which is like if you bring a bottle of liquor, you buy Coke, rent the glasses, and a bucket of ice, or a corking fee. I love it. It's my favorite.
I am lying. I have adult entertainment facilities in the state of Alabama do not allow you to have alcohol. And they cannot sell alcohol. But in a wonderfully inventive arrangement in the parking lot of every strip club in Alabama, on the right-hand side or the left-hand side, on one of the sides is the strip club, and on the other side of the parking lot just happens to be a little package store owned by the strip club.
Perfect.
You go over there and you buy it, and then you go over there and you can use it. Alabama, I don't know if this is still true. I'm sure somebody out there could fact check me, but Alabama was one of the few states left where you could smoke inside. It was what
I will have to talk to Holly. Holly will be our resident Alabama.
Maybe she does or does not know this. It was the basis of one of my favorite jokes, one of my favorite subliminal jokes that I wrote years and years ago. I still love it. It was under the premise of secondhand smoke, because in Alabama you're only allowed to smoke inside the strip clubs, which makes me wonder if secondhand smoke is bad for one set of lips.
Nah, yeah. We're never gonna get a bidet sponsor with those kinds of jokes. Not even a bidet can clean your mind.
I don't say anything. I just let you fill in the blank on that one.
That should be our slogan for the bidet. If it can clean Tony's mouth, it can clean your tuchus.
All right, so we got our injury report.
Nothing exciting.
Nothing exciting. Now we need to talk about food.
It's time to talk about cooking.
And tonight proved one thing. You know, all.
Because we're people and we eat.
I made some good dinner tonight, my friend.
All right, we'll start with your dinner because I don't have anything on the dinner front. And then we're going to go to school and then we'll go to Instapot stuff. So
okay.
What did you make for dinner?
Dinner tonight was coconut sticky rice, arugula salad with pomegranate seeds, topped with seared salmon belly that I had marinated in ginger coconut milk marinade. It was fantastic.
Why would cook that fancy for just you?
Because I had leftover salmon belly from school and it took me like 20 minutes to make because I cooked my rice in the Instant Pot. Boom, boom.
Boom, boom.
Boom, boom. And then while that cooked, when I came home, I just made the marinade, which was literally ginger, some of the milk that I used for the rice, threw in the refrigerator. When I got hungry, threw the rice on, and I seared this. It was fine. It took me like 20 minutes to make the whole thing. And not even all at once. It took me 20 minutes over the course of 2 hours. It was great. It was delicious. I'll send you a picture.
Meal, and I'm glad you're using your school leftovers for sustenance.
Well, today in class, we had like all this leftover brioche dough. And my chef was like, do you guys want to make hot dog buns for these sausages? And we were like, okay. And I was like, can I use this part and make some cinnamon dough or a cinnamon roll? And he was like, or like a cinnamon loaf. And he was like, you know how to do that? And I was like, yes. And he was like, okay, go for it. And it came out beautiful. It was so pretty. And he was like, okay. He's super French. So every time he looks at me, I just assume I'm doing something wrong.
He didn't think you could make cinnamon roll.
Right. I don't think he understood that I knew what I was doing. I think he thought I was going to ask for assistance because it's not in the curriculum. But little does he know that I make killer cinnamon rolls.
How easy. People don't understand. Unless you've worked at a cinnamon bun, you don't understand. Unless you work at the Pillsbury Dough Factory, you don't understand. No, cinnamon rolls are such an easy. Right now, we're planning our Thanksgiving menu.
Yeah, we need to talk offline about Thanksgiving. I got questions.
Are you coming?
I have questions for you.
Okay. So we are planning our Thanksgiving menu. I get to do the bird. Yay. And I play Morris Day in the entire time while I'm cooking that bird.
It's good to have a plan. If you don't have a plan, we plan to fail.
Hallelujah. Ooh.
I will not be coming.
My mother-in-law, she's coming to visit. She makes an amazing stuffing, so she's going to be making the stuffing. The wife has got some yams. Oh, yams.
Greens, beans, potatoes, tomatoes, yams.
She's got that.
You name it.
Mashed potatoes.
Taters.
I was going to make that artisan bread that I made in the Instapot because it came out well and it was well received. But this conversation about cinnamon rolls has got me thinking, I've got everything I need to make cinnamon rolls.
Dude, make the cinnamon. So in my cinnamon rolls, I don't just use cinnamon and sugar. I put a little bit of clove, a little bit of cardamom in, to fancy it up. to make it, and then a little nutmeg. And it like takes it from being too sweet to having just a little spice. So good. So good. I'll hit you with those ratios later. It's fine.
I'm not sure. Well, I don't do ratios.
When I say ratios, I mean there is no precise measurement. I will tell you the sprinkle that you need for each of those.
My mother, she posted some rant about cleaning out the spice cabinet that she was really, really proud of.
I love your mom.
She was so proud of it. She sent me a message saying, "You can use that."
Your mom is
all right, ladies
amazing.
and gentlemen. Mama Knuckles wrote the next joke. Here we go. So I'm assuming that you're still in school and you passed all the required the Hell Week task for your pastry class.
I did. I got 100 on that.
Oh, you're such a Susie Springarm. Good for you.
No, I like almost failed the written test, but I can make a tart. I can make a fruit tart. And that's all that matters.
And a banging cinnamon roll to go with it.
I do make a good cinnamon roll. You've had my cinnamon rolls. I made them for Christmas last year.
Oh, yeah. I think I tell you where my surprise comes in. Surprise ingredient for my cinnamon rolls. You're not going to believe me. Lemon.
Try.
Lemon.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I've done orange, not lemon, but I've done orange.
It's just hidden in there. It's a nice butter. It's some sugar. It's some cinnamon. Sprinkle in some lemon zest so that when people bite into it, they go like, "Hey, wait a second." Anyway, and then they go right back to eating. I'll
do the orange zest in the, like, if I'm doing a frosted cinnamon roll, I'll do the orange zest in the frosting, making the cream cheese frosting. Who doesn't like cream cheese frosting?
Yeah. We're going to cheat when it comes to desserts. We're just going to go to Costco and buy those giant. Costco makes like a 20-inch pumpkin pie.
Yeah, I know. I don't have a Costco membership. Otherwise, I wouldn't fit through the doors at Costco. And they have double wide opening automatic doors.
They're just garage doors. They're not even that.
I wouldn't even be able to get in.
Yeah,
I wouldn't. You'd have to roll me in like Veruca Salt. Freaking blueberry. Roll me to the pies, T-bone.
So, big fan, Angelina Jolie, because she's crazy, and, crazy's fun.
It's the spice of life.
Salt, the movie where she's the...
Oh, yes, speaking of spice of life.
Right? So she plays a Russian spy that is not a Russian spy, and her name is Veruca Salt.
Yeah. Also a band name. Opened up for Lady Gaga. Also opened up for a lot of other bands. Seen them a few times. Pretty good. Anyways.
Travis Scott has got a new band opening for him called Crush.
No, too soon, Mom Freyer. Too soon.
I used to work concert security. I
used to go to concerts.
I was the guy in the barrier between the audience and the stage, and I've pulled a lot of people out of the Crush.
And that's what it is. I don't know how many times, as a not a large person overall, especially in high school, I was little, where I would go to a show and for 2 hours, my feet never touched the floor. Where just the press of people, at one point I had probably jumped and I just never came back down. And it's at first a lot, but it's interesting because that venue has had similar incidents with similar results.
Yeah,
so
that's going to happen.
Obviously there's something is wrong with the venue. There's something between security or admittance or the breakdown of general admission to seating that is incorrect. There's an incorrect ratio there. Because I've been to many concerts where it is a very small venue, full of people, crowd surfing, the crushes of it's there, it could happen, there's a potential, but it hasn't happened.
There is always the potential. It only takes a trigger.
Right. One little surge.
Yeah, something to happen that creates the surge, and there is no fighting back. As one of the people that was doing security, when we would see this happen, we could snatch people. We could make an avenue of escape, but I mean, we were good at what we did, and we didn't have too many issues. But every once in a while, it got bad, and people have died at concerts. They just 8 is a high number.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's one.
I think the worst squish situation I was in was a Disturbed, Stone Temple Pilots, and Korn. It was a radio station's Christmas festival concert outside, huge arena, huge space. It's where they host ACL still. It's a huge space. but the number of people in that space, it was a lot. But they opened a lane down the middle. Halfway through, they told everyone, move over, and they laid basically a track of stanchions and barriers straight down the middle. And if you were in a situation that you needed to get out of, you could go out to the side, or you could go out down this middle aisle. And that was the smartest decision. And that it wasn't set up like that initially.
I know the moment that crush happened. So a crush is band generated, whether they want to believe it or not.
Absolutely.
Something about a song that just gets people moving. And on that venue of people, you said Stone Temple Pilots, you said somebody else.
Disturbed, Stone Temple Pilots, and Korn. And it was during Stone Temple Pilots that they were like, started laying the barrier down. And I'm sure you can imagine.
Because as soon as starts.
No, that was Disturbed. No, Disturbed was like, it was busy. But as soon as Scott Weiland came up on the stage and they had these big blocks on it, and he like did a back bend, everyone went nuts and just like straightforward. And it was, again, one of those moments where I don't know if my feet touch the ground for the next 2 hours. Green Day happened at a Green Day show. Kitty. There have been a few times where you're just like, oh, and this is it. And this is it. This might be the end of me.
No, I saw too much from inside the barricade to ever put myself in that position on the outside of the barricade. I would never do. I don't care how fine she is walking on the floor of any concert. That's not, no, I got money. We'll sit up in the seats where normal people sit, but we ain't at the general admission floor. We ain't doing that.
It's funny because like now, like after college and I was working in like marketing, and we would host events, and then you watch the show from the side of the stage, like the flaming lips, and you're like, oh, it's so safe up here. Now I'm like, I go to a show and I'm in the crowd and I'm like, but where's my pass? Can I watch this from the side? Because I'm frail. The osteoporosis is on its way.
A lot of comedy clubs around the country. It all depends on where you're at, but you do get accustomed to like being able to see things from the backstage or the green room. There's a whole bunch of acts that I only know from their backside because that's all. You get to see them, you get to see the audience, and when you find yourself like I have to soon start getting in with the local comedy. I gotta learn my way around the Harrisburg Comedy Zone interactions. I need to find out who's who in the zoo, kind of make myself known, and then if I ever plan on seriously getting back on stage for time, and it's going to start with me sitting in the audience like a normal person. I don't even know if I can, because all the comics are going to be in the back of the room. I know that. Local comics or comics anywhere, they're always the guys sitting in the back of the room. Unless it's the Comedy Store, then it was just writers. Writers always sat in the back of the room, and you could tell a joke. You could tell an original joke at the Comedy Store on a Tuesday, and by Wednesday night, that was in somebody's opening monologue. If it was good. That was a long time ago. Anyway, let's see. Do I have anything to share about my cooking experiences for the week? Not really. I don't think I
You didn't.
What?
You didn't Instapot this week?
I told you that I ruined the pork loin.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a bad.
That's sad.
You said just redo it, and I haven't. So now, no experiments this week. The wife is going to entrust me with her yams. Oh, yams.
Yams.
So for Thanksgiving, I get to do her yams. Hey, just thought of a double entendre there.
You're done.
So, yeah,
Anywho.
I have nothing food related to share with you this week. Thank you for filling us in on your food journey.
I'm glad I could carry us on that. It's a lot of weight on my shoulders. Gonna have to stretch.
You got any headlines for me?
Oh, I do. I had one. It was really funny. Hold on. It's a classic headline.
The Joe Biden headline I had joked about at the beginning is a real headline.
Yeah.
Did you see it?
I did. I just don't care about it because this one's way better. This is from the UK, so you know it's quality.
Oh, of course.
Mom warns over leather trousers that sound like she has a duck down her pants.
Challenge accepted. Who's doing the warning? I don't understand the part of this story that I've got to work through before I can figure out. And for those of you who don't know what's happening here, let me just tell you what the deal is. Chick Brew gives me a headline, and then I, using my unbelievable powers of observation and make-believe, can tell you the story behind the story. So what we have here is a middle-aged British woman who is definitely beyond her prime, who had children late in life at hospital, because British people hate using the word the. Did you have a child? Yes, I had a child. Where'd you have the child at? At hospital. It's at the hospital, you crazy Brit. Anyway, she's beyond her prime. She had children at a late age, which, ladies, I hate to tell you, but it really does a wreck down there, okay? So, honestly, someone, probably a parent-teachers event, maybe a cab driver, it could be anybody, says, hello, dear, it sounds like you have a duck in your pants, or your trousers. You have a duck in your trousers. And she is like, oh, how dare you? These are leather pants causing those sounds. In reality it's having two children in her mid-40s. That's creating a duck sound. Doesn't matter what she's wearing. Corduroy, denim, leather. She's got duck lips.
Or was it presidential inspiration? I don't know. The jury's still out. But that one was for you. You know that pained me, but I did it for you.
Oh, that was fun. Do you have another?
I do have another British one. Are you ready?
Oh, okay, yes.
Yeah. Man mortified to discover
mortified.
He's been using his microwave wrong for 6 years. Mortified.
Man mortified. He's been using microwave. I took out the word the again because they hate the word.
You don't need it.
Yeah.
Irrelevant.
Took out the word microwave. He's been using wrong for 6 years.
What's he been doing with it? T-Bone, tell us. What's he been doing with the microwave for 6 years? That was
imagination
mortifying.
It's firing off in so many different directions.
Let's go with the mildly appropriate direction.
That takes away like 6 of the directions that might.
Yes, go backwards to the left a little, and that's the one we're going to go with.
After 6 years, the man realized that how I can't. I mean, unless you're sitting on it and using it as a lavatory, 6 years.
It's a long time.
No, it's got to be something simple. We allowed the media to clickbait us. You click on this story because, holy cow, this guy is mortified. Great word, by the way. He's mortified to find out after 6 years he's been using his microwave wrong. And then you click on it and you get all these stupid little pop-ups. And the first pop-up is like a picture of a microwave. Oh, Charles Evanson of Wilkinsonshire says he was mortified to find out that his microwave wasn't working as designed. And then you click and you click and you click, and by the time you're done with it, you've bought some shoes from Dolce & Gabbana. But the bottom line is he didn't understand that his microwave was set to defrost. So one day while complaining to neighbors, he's like, I don't understand. It takes forever for the microwave to cook anything. I don't understand how this is efficient at all. I put it on there for half an hour, and it's still cold in the center. And then the friend goes, well, you've got it on defrost. Are you kidding? It's been on defrost for 6 years. I am mortified.
Mortified.
There we go.
I can't wait to one day tell you what the real issue was, because you're going to be like, that's the stupidest thing. And someone actually printed that anywhere. It's hilarious.
I don't think I'm far off.
You're not, actually. You're not. But the actual reality is even dumber, because it's not even that it's really an issue. It's just that who wrote about it? Like someone, again, mortified.
All right. That was 2 good headlines. I think I worked out I'd like to say I at least made it through the second one pretty well. I think I did.
That was good.
I did good on both.
The second one was good. The second one made me giggle. Also mortified. The first one, perhaps mortified. The second one, definitely giggled.
Now we get to your favorite part of the show.
Hanging up.
It's time.
Do I even know birthdays? Oh, yeah, there's some good birthdays out there.
Birthday burns.
Birthday burns. I came through.
Did you?
All right, who do you have? Have you already selected your people?
I have not. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the show that Christina hates the mostest.
Hated it.
And it's only because she's a roaster in training. Now it is time for Birthday Burns. Reminding you again what Birthday Burns is all about. Basically, we want to say happy birthday to our friends and our loved ones, but we don't want you putting your real birthday on the internet. So this is our chance of getting back at you and shaming you into changing your fake birthday or putting your fake birthday on the internet. We switch it up so as not to personally offend you. The people on Christina's list, I do not know. The people on my list, Christina does not know. So these are really just random words being attributed to your name. If this shall offend thou, we're sorry. Of course, we love you, and we weren't trying to hurt your feelings. And if it hits close to home, and, I haven't really used the fat one yet. As a fat person, I try not to fat shame too much. But if I call you fat, and you are fat, well, do like me. Work on it.
Embrace it. Oh, yeah. Or that.
Yeah. Yes, embrace it. So
there are two schools of thought.
We're going to start it off. Chick Brew's going to give me the first birthday candidate of the day. Who you got for me?
One of my nearest and dearest, David Boone.
I don't think it's fair to do David Boone because much like last week's, I know David Boone. I think that's the setup. I think every time you tell me somebody, I know that person, and then just go. David Boone is the guy. He's the guy that goes to the gym to get dates. Yeah, he's the guy you see in the gym who's not really lifting weights, but he's like telling everybody else how they should be lifting weights. And he spends like more time than normal just hanging out with the other dudes. Like he's in the gym for 2 hours, quote unquote, working out. But what he's really doing is working. You know what I'm saying? Because anybody who spends 2 hours a day in the gym should come out with something other than another man's phone number. And it shouldn't look like you skipped arm, leg day, arm day, back day, stomach day.
All the days.
Like you skipped every day except date night. That's what I'm saying. Birthday bird.
Love you, David. Don't listen to Tony. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Even if it's true.
Even if it's true. All right.
Oh, let me see who I got for you. We're going to go in alphabetical order. Now, we're going to go ladies first.
Oh.
My friend celebrating her birthday this week is the lovely Amanda Nearing.
Amanda Nearing, who I know. It's fine. It's fine. I feel strong enough in that friendship that she'll know it's all in good fun. I hope. She seems the type. The best thing about Amanda Nearing is every time you see her, you know that visit is nearing its end.
I see what you did there.
I don't have any friends. This is why I don't have any friends. It's the worst jokes.
It's something I want you to remember when Patrick Nearing's birthday comes around because that is way more fitting. So, Amanda, you want around. It's a horrible thing to say that. But her husband, he could take a hike anytime he wants to. Happy birthday, gang. A birthday bird.
Remember when we did Sober October and he was like, I did all the miles in 2 seconds.
Yeah, right? Hate that guy.
Well, whoopie-ta.
Not a true story. I do not hate that guy. That's all right. So here we go.
But we can be salty. We can be salty and bitter. It's fine.
That wouldn't be a birthday burn. That would be a birthday
fact.
Gentle wafting.
A birthday fart. Got it.
All right. Who else you got for me?
Lenny Lacrosse.
I actually know Lenny Lacrosse.
You just know everyone today.
So how do you, I don't want to get into nerd bashing. And if you're going with Lenny and your name is alliterative, you're probably a nerd. So I don't want to get into nerd bashing, but when a guy's got Coca-Cola bottle glasses and of course he hasn't really done good at cleaning his hair and he thinks he's smarter than everybody and he still wears Superman underoos, there has to be another name than nerd. And it's Lenny. Bird. See, I started there because I knew him, and I brought it all the way back around because I known him. Here we go. Our final birthday burn of the evening. Long-time friend. Please don't hurt his feelings.
I could never because I'm terrible at this.
It is the birthday of Big Mo Alexander.
Mo Alexander.
That's right.
Mo is nothing. I don't know Mo, but I do know this because his name gives it all away. No matter what he starts off with, he always needs mo money, mo ladies, mo food, mo problems. Mo has nothing. That's it. That's it.
Bird. Yeah, I saw that you were done. I just had to.
That's it. That's
a
all.
birthday bird.
I'm sorry, Mo. I don't know you. You seem delightful.
So for whatever reason, Mo had a possum in his house. I don't know. I just saw the pictures. I didn't get into
Mo possums. That's what he needs. Great. Mo has nothing except for possums.
I should have shared that picture with you. That's what I should do, is just give you a picture, not a name. Like, here you go. No, I like the way we do it. It's safe. It's sanitary. Nobody gets any real sangre on the hands there. It's all artificial sangre, okay?
Yeah, I don't know any of these people. I mean, if I do know them, they know that I don't feel that way.
Yeah, well, I mean, your bird
so bad at this.
That bad, and all I did was call one guy a nerd and another guy a
gym rat.
Gym predator.
Predator.
Mercedes, she did a couple of PSAs of the spot me, don't stop.
I filmed them. Those were my PSAs. Mercedes was my saving grace so that I could meet my quotas.
Wonderful lady she is.
She is fantastic. She's a great human being. Appreciate her.
Well, with that being said, I think we've covered everything we need to cover today. We got another episode in the can. That'll be episode number 11, leading into a Veterans Day. And then we got 2 weeks. No, we're not taking any time off. We're good. So we're good. So
rocking and rolling.
I remind you today, as I remind you every day, be the best you that you can be. And if you were a great person today, be an even better person tomorrow.
And don't forget that you are loved.
Aww.
Thank you for listening to T-Bone and Chick Brew. If you enjoyed that show, you should check out the Darrell McLean Show, independent media that won't reinforce tribalism. We have one planet and nobody's leaving, so let's reason together. You can find the Darrell McLean Show at the same place you actually listen to this show. Give it a shot.